What a great way to start this off. Hello, everybody. As you hopefully can tell by now, my name, at least on YouTube, is the Elite Ball Know-It-All. I know it's lofty, I know it's like Invincible, saying Invincible, and then bang, the music. I have Elite Ball knowledge. I'm going to prove that in this video here. Now, today's subject, as I said in my first video, I cover a broad amount of subjects. The Souls games have a special place in my heart. Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, even 2, I know, even 2. Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Sekiro, Bloodborne, all that good stuff, Elden Ring, Dusk Bloods, Demon Souls, the remake and the OG, Dark Souls, remake OG, Siegward, Siegmeyer's daughter that you can find in Dark Souls 1. Elite Ball knowledge. Anyway, this is what I look like. I know that videos that are black, or white, or yellow, or orange, or just a solid color and talking are not the most interesting. But if you just turn your fucking camera, flip it around in the selfie mode, you got content, my boy. That's what a vlog is. I'm not going to be a vlogger, but I'm too stupid to figure out how to get an Elgato and put it in my system and play Bloodborne and talk about Bloodborne. So this is what we got, boys and girls. This is what we got. I digress. Anywho. Bloodborne. Amazing game. If you've played, I'll go so far as to say, if you've even played Bloodborne, you have Elite Ball knowledge. Because not only do you have to have played a Souls game before, which brings the number from played a video game to played a Souls game, that number is way smaller. So you already got the niche there. You got a little bit of community that played a Souls game. Even smaller is the community for Bloodborne. Because Bloodborne is a PlayStation exclusive, as everybody knows. Gotta have a PS4, PS5. You have to, unless you're good enough with PCs to emulate it. But we're not talking about those guys. Those guys are geniuses. We're not talking about them. We're talking about people like me. I'm an iron worker in Local 3. I build skyscrapers out of steel beams and a bunch of other stuff. I'm talking about the dumbasses. We're smart in a lot of ways. Every soul is beautiful. We're fucking dumb. We could not do heart surgery. We're not smart enough for that. Some people, honestly, aren't even smart enough to complete the Origins Easter egg. There's too many steps. It's too hard. They can't survive 20 rounds. Some people cannot get to round 20, and that's okay. But we're not even talking about zombies. We're talking about Bloodborne, my boy. So we got Souls games. Then we got Bloodborne. We got Bloodborne on PC. And then we got Bloodborne on an actual PlayStation. That amount of people. And they are as passionate as the Dark Souls community. As the general overarching Souls, Born Sekiro, Elden Ring overarching community, because there's some groups that talk about every Souls game that's ever been produced by From Software and Miyazaki, and that's what I love, but we're talking about Bloodborne, and if you like Bloodborne, you're in the right place. The Elite Ball Know-It-All has got you. So Bloodborne. I played Dark Souls 3, beat it, loved it. I bought a PS4 for Bloodborne when I was 16 years old. Okay? I'm 22 now. Do with that information what you will. But 16. Just beat Dark Souls 3, knights, castles, swords and shields. Opening fucking read. I just put the disc in the console, in the PS4. It started making that woo noise out the back whenever you're too lazy to clean the dust out of it. First opening read. Angelic music. And Bloodborne, baby. And for those that are still holding out hope for Bloodborne 2, the D and the B from blood to born, you can color that in red and make a fake Bloodborne 2 logo and put it on a t-shirt and wear it around the house because you still hold out hope. I am your people. I need a Bloodborne remaster. A Bloodborne 2. Sony, please, please, if there's anyone at Sony watching, please. But anyway, opening read. Because this is from a also kind of developer standpoint too, because you got to think, they're making a product that is beloved. That they want to have a cult fan base, just like the Souls games, because Bloodborne came out after the Souls games, or at least after DS1. They knew that the magic and the spark was there. They had to replicate that, and to do that as a creator, even though you're as good as FromSoft and Miyazaki, it's hard. Just like Jason Blundell with zombies, but different conversation, different video. Get the fuck out of here. The opening read matters. The main menu matters because some people are busy. They got kids, they got infants, they got toddlers, they got teenagers, they got whatever the fuck, they got pets, dogs, cats, animals, parrots. They can't always put a game in and immediately play. They'll put a game in, it'll get to the opening screen, and then they gotta go to the grocery store. So they leave the game on. I've done it before. I've sat there and like whatever. I've done that and just watched and let the music take me of the title screen of Bloodborne. And another cool thing, anybody that knows Bloodborne knows that it's not just the angelic music that's going to play on loop forever. Elite Ball Knowledge. Elite Ball Knowledge. The Bloodborne boys and girls, if you sit on that opening screen, the title screen, without it says press any button. You haven't even pressed any button yet. Before you press a button, if you stay on that screen long enough, it'll play a trailer. It'll play there's not much gameplay in it, if any, but it'll play a trailer for Bloodborne, a cinematic sequence, like you put the saw cleaver in a dog and you see him pull it out and you see the detail of the gore of it all, and it's just... And this is before we've even created a character, folks. Before the character creation has even begun, that's what you get. You get that atmosphere. It tells you what this game is. It's almost a horror game. If you play it in the dark and you're 12, 13, 14, 16 like I was, I'll admit, I played the game at like 2 a.m. I was doing some stuff. I had a headset on. That fucking... Listen, if you're walking around Yarnum for a while, like, you've killed all the enemies at this point. You're just item hunting, item gathering, because, like, I'm a bit of an item hoe, I'll be honest. All that stuff. Eventually, you'll hear the Cleric Beast scream happen over by, like, not Upper Cathedral Ward, but, like, over by where you would go if you're on the way to Upper Cathedral Ward, or if you're at that door that's at the Cleric Beast Arena. Fun fact, if you go to the back side of that door, it's also locked because in development they just never did anything with it. It was supposed to be a door that you could access as like a shortcut between areas, because FromSoft likes to loop around their areas, like the shortcut in Cathedral of the Deep of Dark Souls 3, believe all knowledge. Both of those shortcuts loop a massive area together in a way you'd never expect. Like DS1, DS2, DS3, Sekiro, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, they all are fantastic at level design. The level design, this is back to the developer nerd and all that stuff, because I've seen every Jason Blundell interview, even the JC Backfire stuff recently. I've seen all that. Elite Ball Knowledge. Anyway, so besides the opening read and the character creation, I could gush over that for a long, long time, and I'm sure I will in videos in the future, but I'm trying to not ramble too much because I do have ADHD. I know I ramble. I'm trying to stay on topic, and I'm trying to essentially cram everything I know about Bloodborne to prove I have Elite Ball Knowledge, because I'm still trying to prove myself. This is my third video. I'm still trying to prove myself. But to do all that, to try to cover the entire events of Bloodborne, the entire events of the entire game, to try to do that in a short amount of time, like, I'm trying to make this video 30 minutes, so I'm done. I'm going to be talking fast, I'm going to be doing all that stuff. If you can't keep up, feel free to rewind, but I'm not going to slow down for a small percentage of people that would need me to slow down, because I feel that if you are able as a person to listen to somebody rattle off a list of things and actually comprehend it, you will have no problem understanding my video. You will not. You will have no issue understanding me. I will not be too fast for you. I will try to enunciate well. Bloodborne. Some would say it's the best game ever made. Some would say it's the best FromSoft title, and I would agree with them. I'm that guy. I wake up in the morning and take my fresh hit of copium, dream of Bloodborne 2, know that it's probably never going to happen, and then I'm sad throughout the day. Not really, but yeah. So, opening read, click, new game, opening cutscene, dude laughs at you, says you need some Yharnam blood of your own. Like, if you played Bloodborne, basic shit. Basic shit. You're in the fucking, not cathedral, oh my god, the clinic. You're in the clinic, there's the wolf, a lot of people die to it. If you know what you're doing, you can run past, go up the ladder and all that shit. You don't have to fight any enemy, you gotta go to the hunter's dream in the lamp, from the lamp. You can just sprint straight there, drop the ladder down, sprint all the way to Hunter's Dream, go to the lamp, don't fight anything, don't touch anything, don't let anybody touch you, don't grab any items, fucking go. If you do that, you can get your weapon. If you've ran around Yharnam and got some insight, you can talk to the doll. Like, you can, if you know what you're doing, like I do, and what a lot of players do at this point, because if you've done a bunch of playthroughs, like, the first hour of your gameplay on a new game, if you've done 100 new games, is an hour of running around collecting shit because you know you need it. Ask any Elden Ring player, any Souls player, any Bloodborne player, any Sekiro player. It is a lot of picking shit up. Essentially. It's a part of it. It's a part of the setup. And you can argue all you want, but motherfucker, unless you're doing a challenge run, you need a weapon. You need to farm vials. Or you need to kill enough things to get enough echoes to buy vials, and bullets. Bullets. Can we talk about this? Only FromSoft game besides Sekiro to include guns that the player can use, to my knowledge, besides like Elden Ring. But Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, show me a fucking pistol. Bloodborne got a pistol. The hunter, keep that thing on him. And being from Texas, I can appreciate that. I'm from the gun state. Of course I like guns. Lead ball knowledge. Bloodborne is that game. If it was a person, it'd be that person. Like, that's the cool thing about it. But anyway, yeah, so the only game to include a gun. It's the only game I can parry in. Like, I know there's some people in Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, and Elden Ring, they can parry in all of the games. I'm not that guy. The pistol in Bloodborne has a parry window or something that is easier than the rest of the Souls titles, because I don't know, it's like Danny DeVito. Anyway, I started blasting. That's how you parry. It's fun. That's a new game mechanic that was never in any other game that was in Bloodborne and has not really been used since. You shoot a person, as they raise their weapon in Bloodborne, you get the parry. That's with any boss. Well, not any boss, but that's with a lot of bosses. You could parry the Bloodstar Beast. Bet you didn't know that shit. Leap ball knowledge, bitch. You could parry the Bloodstar Beast. As it's doing its wind up to grab you attack, as soon as it lunges to grab you, if you shoot it, it's like a millisecond frame window. But if you shoot it in that window, it'll go, it'll make the parry noise, and you can stab it in the fucking chest and take half of its health bar. You can do that, okay? You can do that, and you don't have to worry about it. But anyway, we're 14 minutes in. I'm trying to make this video like 20 minutes, so that's my time frame. Anyway, yeah. Bloodborne, opening read, good stuff. Grab shit in the early game, yeah. Then you start to, especially if you played other Souls games, you know there's NPCs. You know their stories. You know that FromSoft tells their lore through items. So you're reading all that stuff. You're taking in the environment of the world. Why is Yharnam like Yharnam is? Why is everybody a wolf man? Is there some fucking werewolf cooties going around? Yeah, it's called the Old Blood. It's called the fucking Old Blood because what these Yharnamites did, the people of Yharnam, the church, all of them, I can't get into all of it. I can't get into all of it. I know the church, there's a lot with the church. There's a lot with Bergenworth. There's a lot with Rom the Vacuous Spider. There's a lot with the Breedist Art of the Cosmos. There's a lot with the Moon Presence and Garamond and the endings. That there's too much to cram into 20 minutes. So I'm just going to be kind of breezing through an overarching thing. And if y'all like that, you can comment that you like that, and I'll make a separate video. Like, I want to make one video entirely dedicated to Mikolash. One video to Lawrence. One video to the Cleric Beast, to Master Willem, to all their relationships, how they all tie in. I'm gonna get there. This is my first video of me talking into a camera. This is the first time I've recorded myself talking into a camera. Here's some elite ball knowledge about me personally. My great-grandfather is Waylon Jennings. You can Google that. My father is Way Jennings. You can Google Way Jennings' son. Scroll for a bit and find me. My name is William. So now you know my name. You know my age. You know I'm from Texas. Like, if you want to take my identity... that sucks. Honestly, in all honesty, fuck you. But you're not getting anything. Like, you're gonna try to do a credit card. You're gonna try to take a credit card out in my name. Please. I've gotten denied to every credit card in existence. Like, I'm not worried about putting myself on the internet. I know the risks. I understand that. I'm in the limelight. My family is famous as fuck. I don't want to be that guy, but it is. Like, I don't want to be the guy that's, like, telling everybody that they meet within 30 seconds of meeting them that I'm the descendant of Waylon. I don't do that. I've told a lot of people, but that's because if I meet you out in the world, even if, like, it's just we're next to each other in the grocery store, I'm like, how's your day going, bud? And if we strike up a conversation or whatever, I'll throw that in. That's a cool thing about myself that nobody else on the planet has. I am Waylon Jennings' great-grandson. I'm the firstborn son of Waylon's firstborn son. Or no, I'm the firstborn son of the firstborn son of Waylon's firstborn son. So Waylon's firstborn was Terry Vance Jennings. Terry Vance Jennings' firstborn was Way Jennings. Way Jennings' firstborn son was William Jennings. So yeah, there's that. That's cool. Back to Bloodborne. Fuck the Jennings family for now. We'll talk about that later if y'all want. Comment. Please comment. Please give me feedback. I got a comment on my last video. It's the only comment that's on the video. It's from, I believe, Kev or something. I might be wrong. I'll check after I'm done recording this, but he literally just said fire content or like the video or something. I can't remember exactly. The words don't matter. The sentiment is there. I love that. I will always love that, but also, if I'm doing anything that pisses you off, or annoys you, or offends you, God forbid, but I'll joke about it, like, ooh, snowflake, yeah. Be a snowflake. Be a snowflake. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me what I did incorrectly. If I'm talking about a lot of, like, controversial subjects within the Souls community, so... in my opinion, Slave Knight Gale is the best boss in Dark Souls 3. That is a debatable opinion. There's a conversation to be had there, and if I am to have that conversation, I want it to be constructive. I don't want to insult. I don't want to use hyperbole. I don't want to attack a person's character. I want to attack their point. Like a debate. I don't want to argue, I want to debate. I want constructive criticism so that I'm a better content creator, not so much hate that I quit. And I'm not gonna quit. So if you don't like it, and it's not like a bad thing. It's just a nitpicky thing from you. Respectfully, I'm not going to stop what I'm doing just because one or two people don't like something. I'm not. I'm not for everybody. I'm not for kids. That's for fucking sure. Unless you're a cool kid, but be a kid. Don't swear. Don't smoke. Don't drink. Don't be an adult yet. Be a kid. I wasn't able to be a kid. Be a kid. But anyway. We back to Bloodborne, baby. We talking about Bloodborne. This is a Bloodborne video. We're talking about all this other stuff. This director, zombies. Fuck all that. We're talking about Bloodborne. The gothic horror of the Souls genre, Bloodborne. So I'm going to get close for this. This is the... Oh, not that close. Jesus Christ. Okay, this is the up-close section of the video. Bloodborne. Amazing. So what I'm going to do... It's 20 minutes now. 21 minutes now. This video is going to be 25 minutes. Maybe 30. So I have 5 to 10 minutes to fly through Bloodborne. To where if someone doesn't know even what Bloodborne is, they could watch this video and know the entire story. Obviously, there are spoilers, but this game is old as dog shit. If you haven't played it and know the story by now and you get spoiled by my video on my no subscriber channel, that's on you, bro. You got a warning. This is your warning. Click off if you don't want to know the story of Bloodborne. If you don't want to know the names of the bosses. I've been talking a lot. Click off. This is... You've watched... If you've made it this far in the video, it's going to count as a view from YouTube's algorithm. I will get my viewer count up by you making it this far. This is the portion where if you don't want to get spoiled, leave. Okay. First boss of the game. Father Gascoigne. Alright. Great guy. Tragic story. Wife, kids, all that stuff. At the end of the story, dead wife, dead kids, dead Gascoigne. You're a Souls game boss. Ooh, I swallowed some spit. Ooh, you ever breathe in and just like... like, no one ever talks about this little tidbit of knowledge. I'm a wellspring of useless information, or... deep all knowledge. But anyway, Father Gascoigne, great boss. A lot of players don't even make it past Gascoigne. Like, his achievement is not 100% of players. For a long time, it wasn't even 50. So less than half of the player base didn't even beat the first boss. That's how niche of a game this is. To beat it, like, I've gotten all the endings in the Platinum Trophy of Bloodborne before. I paid my dues, I did the game, I'm good at the game. I'm not world's best. I'm not good at PvP, but PvE bosses, I'm good. I've beaten the game with every type of weapon in the game, all the hunter tools. I've done an arcane build. I've done a 99 arcane and nothing else build run through. Elite ball, know it all. It's a fact. But anyway, so Gascoigne, second boss. Well, first boss can be Cleric Beast, or second boss can be Cleric Beast. So first and second bosses are different for whoever you find first. You can find Cleric Beast first, you can find Gascoigne. The first required boss that you have to kill or skip or glitch, you have to get past Odin Temple somehow. Odin Chapel, whatever the fuck Gascoigne's Reign is called, you have to get past it. Gascoigne's the first boss. First mandatory. Cleric Beast, you can kill him at the end of the game. You can leave him to die whenever you choose. Cleric Beast, you do not have to kill the Cleric Beast. Newsflash to some of you, but you don't. So, Gascoigne, Cleric Beast, whichever. Amelia. Vicar Amelia. I'm going to do a whole video covering Vicar Amelia, but all you need to know, she's a little priestess that turns into a giant dog. That giant dog can be a pain in the ass on New Game 3. I'm not going to get into it, but new game cycles, cool. New game cycles are so awesome. Like the fact that that's a feature. You keep all your weapons, but you fight the first boss again. And the second and third and fourth and fifth, and then multiple playthroughs. New game 7 being the hardest, but that's cool. On different new games, Bloodborne bosses specifically, like that I've noticed, is a noticeable difference. Vicar Amelia in New Game 1 and Vicar Amelia in New Game 3 are very different bosses. I'll go as far to say that. They're different bosses. Like, Vicar Amelia in New Game 3 is the most aggressive, high damage, sometimes bullshit boss that you will fight in Bloodborne. Like, I can kill Gehrman easier than Vicar Amelia on New Game 3 sometimes. That's how big of a deal it is, and I know that there's people that will agree with me because that is elite ball knowledge. Not many people even got past the first boss of Bloodborne, so to get to the final boss, get all 3 endings, get all that elite ball knowledge, get all that stuff that not a lot of people have done. I've already covered that. Not a lot of people have done this shit. I am a dedicated Souls fan. And if you don't even like video games, like if you're some 60-year-old man that just like never interacted with that form of technology, you don't even know what I'm talking about. It seems silly that I'm this passionate about what essentially is a fucking kid's game. Or a teenage kid, whatever game. Like, I'll be honest, a lot of people that are not unemployed, like have jobs and shit, could give a fuck. But this video is not for those people. It's for you. It's for you. Because you're like me. And you love this shit. And I love you for it. Which is a Hemwick. Or amygdala, if you're good. And you know what you're doing and you talk to Patches. Or Forbidden Woods. Shadows of Yharnam. So there's 2 bosses, again, that you can, or Dark Beast Parl. You can get to Parl right after Gascoigne. Dark Beast Parl. A lot of people kill him in the mid-game because that's when you usually find him. Because Old Yharnam, from a first-time standpoint, Old Yharnam does not connect to Yahar'gul, the Unseen Village. It does not connect from your first playthrough until you either die to a Snatcher, get snatched by a Snatcher, or organically go to Yahar'gul, and it's a different vibe, and different depending on your insight level, depending on if you killed Rom, and obviously how good you are at the game, because if you get grabbed by a Snatcher on your first playthrough right after you step out of Odin Temple, or Cathedral Ward, right after you step out of Cathedral Ward, you see Eileen, you talk to Eileen, you go down and kill Henrik, you start that NPC quest line, all that stuff. The Snatcher's a hard enemy at that point in the game. Like, you're not meant to kill him, the Snatcher in Cathedral Ward. You're meant to get grabbed by him so he takes you to Yahar'gul, so you're like, what the fuck just happened? I can get grabbed by a random NPC and get sent to a different place? Because if you've only ever played Bloodborne, I keep forgetting the camera's over here. I'm not trying to be creepy. But if you've only ever played Bloodborne, you wouldn't know that in DS3 you can hop into the back basket of one of those red guys in the Undead Settlement. You can hop in the back of that guy's basket and go join the Moundmaker Covenant. And you have to do that if you've gotten the Platinum of DS3, but that is one of the hardest Platinums to get, so a lot of people don't even know that. Elite ball knowledge. Anyway, I'm gonna have to rapid fire because I'm at 29 minutes, and okay, rapid fire, repetition. Canehurst is optional. I love Canehurst, Ligarius, the Vile Bloods. I love it all. Alfred is great on the way to Forbidden Woods. Fucking NPCs are great. The Legion guy with the bucket head in Forbidden Woods, wonderful. Eileen's questline, wonderful. Crow Canehurst, like, I'll get to that in later videos. I'm just trying to fire off the entirety of Bloodborne, so I'm just doing a quick little boss list and a comment for each of them. So after Forbidden Woods, you go to Bergenworth. Bergenworth is cool, a lot of history. There's a shitty insight guide, the ones that grab you and eat your insight. I hate those dudes because they're so hard to kill unless you have kin blood gems, but I can't talk about blood gems without talking about Chalice Dungeons, and I can't. Short video. Anyway. You kill Rom, the world changes, you go to Yahar'gul, a lot of stuff there. You go to Mikolash. You go to the Nightmare realms. There's two of those. There's two of them. Nightmare Frontier, Nightmare Immensis, the DLC Nightmare, Hunter's Nightmare, bunch of nightmare things. But it introduces you to that, and the first boss you see in a nightmare, unless you go out of order and do some special shit to get to the DLC early because after Vicar Amelia you can access the DLC, but you probably shouldn't because you're going to be way under leveled and everything is going to kick your absolute ass. But I can't even talk about the DLC bosses in this video because I'm already out of time. I love all of them. I'm going to talk about the DLC bosses probably next video that I might record in the next 5 minutes, and it's going to be a 10-minute video, and I'm just going to fucking rapid fire talk about it. And you can tell that I will record it in the same session because it's dark right now. It's about 1 a.m. I have insomnia, and I'm outside. But anyway, regardless of your opinions on that, respectfully, I don't care. I'm going to do it. I have a dangerous job. I don't care. But anyway. So Rom is the halfway point. You kill Rom, everything changes. The game changes, the vibe changes. Like, yeah, it'll change a little bit if you somehow attain, like, 50 to 60 insight before Vicar Amelia. There's phases of the game. There's Vicar Amelia. There is... Because it's the night progressing. Bloodborne happens in one night. But anyway, yeah. So... There's Vicar Amelia. It changes from, like, afternoon to dusk. And I promise I'm trying to wrap this up as fast as possible. I know it's been 30 minutes. I promise you I'm trying to wrap this up. I've rambled a lot, but wrap it up rapid fire. Anyway. Vicar Amelia, the night changes. The night changes more and turns into the blood moon and all that good shit. And, yeah, Upper Cathedral Ward, if you get the key after, well... Before the one reborn, if you get the key to Upper Cathedral Ward, you could technically kill Abretus and get a Call Beyond if you're an arcane build and you elite ball knowledge. If you're an arcane build, you can get Call Beyond and all that. You can get that before you kill the one reborn. Then you kill the one reborn, go to Mikolash, go to the Nightmare and all that, and while you're still in that nightmare, the same nightmare that you killed Mikolash in, because the areas are different, but you're in the same realm. After Mikolash, Murgo's Wet Nurse. Now, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the area and everything, but I'm trying to make everything quick. Murgo's Wet Nurse, super cool boss, super cool area. Super cool that they had the Queen of Yharnam. If you've ever killed that bitch in a Chalice dungeon, you know that the Queen of Yharnam is a big deal. But it's not the enemy version, it's just the character model looking up at Murgo's loft. Because Murgo is her kid. Murgo is the infant great one. Murgo is the baby that you hear crying even in the start of the game. In the basis start of the game, that baby cry that you hear in Yharnam, that you hear when you're fighting Gascoigne, that you hear when you're fighting the Cleric Beast, throughout the game you've been hearing a baby cry. It's the same baby. It's an invisible baby, great one. We'll talk about great ones in the next video. It's an invisible infant great one. An interdimensional cosmic being that is crying. And you have heard it your entire playthrough. And I bet you didn't even put that together in your mind until just now. I hope to God that there is somebody that is watching this video that never even thought to put that two and two together and just had a mind explosion moment. But anyway, Murgo's Wet Nurse is the second to last boss. Last boss of the game. Spoiler alert, I know I gave you one earlier. Major spoiler alert for the final boss. Gehrman. The old man that you've been talking to and has been nice to you. And if you've seen his crying interaction, elite ball knowledge, you know what I'm talking about. Character development. But this nice old man that you've been friends with the whole game, just like Sekiro with Ishin, Ashina. A lot of S's in Sekiro. A little game, but anyway. Nice old man that you've played the entire game with, final boss. He's not just a frail old man, he's a badass and he's going to kick your ass. That's a great way to finish it out. And you can have three choices. You can let him kill you. You don't have to fight him at all. Like, the final boss can be Murgo's Wet Nurse. And then you go to Gehrman, let him kill you. You survive the night, you wake up and forget everything. You forget the Hunter's Dream. You forget the doll. You forget all the bosses you fought, all the times you died and went back to the Hunter's Dream after you died, everything and all that stuff and all that jazz and everything. You forget all that. That's the first ending. The second ending is you fight Gehrman, and for some reason, this giant thing comes out of the moon and it eats you. And that's the ending. It eats you, it enslaves you, and then you become Gehrman, and you are now tasked with controlling the Hunter's Dream. And the cycle just continues. Like, the shitty night that you had, because the entirety of Bloodborne canonically happened in the span of one night. So the shitty night that you had is going to happen to others repeatedly, forever. And you're going to have to watch it. Because that's what happened to Gehrman. There's a reason when you fight Gehrman that it says Gehrman, the first hunter. He was the first hunter in the workshop. We'll talk more on Gehrman later, I promise. But anyway. That's all the bosses of Bloodborne. That's why I like Bloodborne. That's a little baby touch of the lore of Bloodborne. I didn't go over the DLC bosses. They're great. They're another video. The lore, another video. The really in-depth deep dive, different video. The purpose of this video is not only to say, hello, this is what I look like, this is what the background is, it's not a black screen anymore, I'm getting better with content, I'm thinking about stuff to keep you entertained. I wish you the best. I hope you enjoyed it. And I don't want to change the name, but I really need to get used to the name. This has been the Elite Ball Know-It-All, and that is my Bloodborne video. Hope you like it.